Here.
Ms. Capabianca.
Here.
Mr. Corey.
Here.
Mr. Predis.
Here.
Mr. Euclid excused. Ms. Hona here. Mr. Kisco.
Here.
Mr. Putnam.
Here.
Ms. Richardson excused. Ms. Toder. remote.
Here.
Mayor Carbone or someone not here. Mr. Barlow. Ms. Ferguson. Here. Ms. Klemazewski. Ms. Lebowski. Here. Mr. Petroselli, Ms. Schulte, Ms. Vians. Okay.
Thank you. Discussion on field trip.
So thank you all for gathering. I apologize that this didn't come forward at the meeting last Wednesday. We did not receive it until the following morning. It was a last minute opportunity for some of our kids. It's with a partnership through Brooker Memorial. It is this particular trip. There are only a couple of children wanting to attend. Essentially, Brooker is sponsoring an opportunity for the kids to go to both Boston and New York. This one is in Boston for some, back in the day when we were kids, they called it Myers-Briggs testing.
Yeah.
Where you would
remember.
explore what your aptitude in certain areas is. Well, those types of things have come a long way, and Brooker is offering this free of charge to our kids to help them kind of get a handle on really where their strengths are, where their talents and aptitudes are, and then they meet with people at this, what is the name of this place? Johnson O'Connor Research, to explore the results of the testing and what that means, what are the implications for our high school students as they start to think about their futures. So we thought it was too nice of an opportunity to not do it. Right.
I remember doing it after I started working. The company, the Harper,
Yeah, it's-
used to offer it.
Right.
Why are you doing this now?
Right.
And really, it's very expensive in terms of the
is.
testing, so it's
Per
wonderful
person,
that
yeah.
Brooklyn
Right.
Memorial is offering.
Awesome.
this.
And they're also, sponsoring the limousine, everything. So it doesn't cost anything.
Ellen.
Was this open to all students or a certain grade or
They're offering it to juniors.
juniors?
Not, sorry, or they were originally going to do juniors, now they're doing sophomores because of the very reason you just said. Let's do it as early as possible.
Yeah.
And then the guidance counselors were working on the students and the choosing. I don't know how they did it. Do you?
No, I don't. But they weren't chosen. The child, it was open and then the child wanted to,
I think that there was an
Participate.
application process, but
an
I'm not
application
sure.
process, okay.
That makes sense if there's,
That's what I,
if it's
right,
being sponsored by
yeah.
somebody, yeah. That's good.
So how many spots could we have gotten?
So it's very limited because they're only starting to do this. They're only offering it at this point. And they got the grant for, I think it's 6 sessions of 6 students. So hopefully they'll expand it as time goes on, but from now to the end of the year. So we'll bring other
So we
field trip-
only have 2.
For
right
this
at this
particular
point.
trip.
Because I
Yeah.
think what they were trying to do was catch the first go round, and then they'll keep the numbers of students. So it's these sessions of small groups of students going. But we'll check on the application process.
and the
Any other-
guidance counselor's going,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah,
Any
somebody
other
from there.
questions?
right.
Good question. Kathy, Kathy, go ahead.
Hi, it's my understanding, I happen to be on the board of managers at Brooker, and it's my understanding based on, the last couple, I thought that this was going to be on the docket much earlier, because I know that, Kathy Coyle was going to meet with Sue, I believe, in January, so I was surprised when it hadn't come up. It's my understanding, however, that they're planning on sending 30 students altogether. And that because the group is so large, half of them will go to Boston and half will go to New York City. I do know they were working through the guidance counselors, who I believe were working with staff to find out some kids who would be a good fit for this based on what they know of them within the school setting. But like Sue said, it's all paid for by Brooker. Brooker has pursued grants to help support it. The board voted to let 30 kids. The board is willing to support up to 30 kids going. And also Zach, who is a member of the staff at Brooker, will be attending with the students and the guidance counselor.
And Kathy, in answer to your statement, yes, I did meet with Kathy, but unfortunately Sue just received this the other day. So I think that the guidance counselors are now getting up to speed in terms of making sure that we get these on time.
Mhm. Yeah, because I mean, it is a wonderful program. We did send a few kids last year through Brooker. And then they have a program committee who really decided that this was what they wanted to pursue. One of the other managers has gone through it and, you know, tells the story of how he thought he wanted to be, I don't know, a dentist or something. And they said, gosh, no, there's no way in the world that you could be a dentist. And he chose a different field based on this aptitude test and the Johnson O'Connor program, and is a very successful man in a totally different field of study right now, or field of for work. So it's a good program, and it is expensive. I want to say it's close. I think it's about $2,000 a student, and that may be an underestimate.
Yeah, I think Kathy had mentioned it was like $4,000 per.
Yeah, maybe.
When we
Yeah,
met with Kathy and Zach, yeah,
it's
yeah, it is
expensive.
very expensive.
Yeah,
So when is this trip supposed to happen?
The 15th, so next week. That's the reason for the rush meeting.
So could the board vote to allow up to the maximum number of students if the high school can get the
Oh, that would be
students?
great. Yeah,
And that way, if
that'd be
there is
easier.
other
Yeah.
kids, then
Just
you guys
doesn't
would
all
just
have
have
to
the
come back each
authority
time.
to.
right.
Regardless of
Send
the
them-
date,
Yeah,
you're okay with
that would
that.
be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there'll be various dates throughout the
Yes.
spring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you can just,
Right.
you're ready to go.
That would be
Right.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So we can just make it up to the maximum number
Yeah.
allowed by Brooker.
Right, Brooker.
Yes.
Kathy,
And
you
I
think
that
it's
makes
30?
it easier for the guidance
well,
counselor.
you know, I'm looking at meetings now, and it was seconded, we moved to pursue sending 30 students to Johnson O'Connor this year to pursue funding sources and commit to the concept of running the program for about 10, I think they're looking to do a long-term commitment in providing this program to the schools for many years to
They got a
come.
great-
But 30 students would get us through this
I
school
believe-
year.
Yes,
Yeah,
yep, to this year, yeah, so up to 30.
Okay.
And like I said, they have to divide it because they can't take
Right.
all of the kids in one session. So that's why they're dividing it between Boston and New York.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
I got two questions, or not really questions. So you mentioned before, 6 sessions, 6 students.
Well, and Kathy's now saying it's actually 5.
per
So
session.
it'll be 30 students. So if it was 6 and 6, it'd be 36. So instead,
Five and
But
it's
what I'm
5 and
saying, you're
yeah.
not gonna get 6 every time. If we keep it, like she's saying, let's leave it open, we
Up
can
to.
say up to 6 trips for a maximum of 30 students.
Mhm.
So that if you don't get 6 and 5 trips, you have that 6th trip to fill in the blank.
That'd be
I
perfect.
want to shoehorn you at
Yeah, well, I don't,
5 trips.
that'd be
at 6
great.
people.
Or I was thinking of just saying a maximum of 30 kids to.
Right.
To have this experience.
Right, because this time we've only got 2,
Mhm.
right? So I don't know how many times Brooker is willing to send this down to New
Yeah.
York, and maybe that's where Kathy's gonna go right
I
now.
mean, could the high school look to see if we could get more?
in this particular trip,
Yeah.
I think would be difficult. But I mean, I can check.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we could take full advantage.
And the other thing I had was,
Go ahead.
do we get any kind of feedback from what this, I still don't even understand what kind of testing is, because I don't know what that is.
It's
but
basically the aptitude, like, what are you good at?
do we
right
get
now?
feedback from this?
Well, I don't know that because it's personal, like, there's only 2 kids going, so I don't know that they would want the,
I don't even know names.
I
but,
don't-
mean,
maybe.
just to kind of quantify if we're
Yeah.
getting any good out of it, you know what I mean? Is it?
Well, you know,
It's not really that good.
but I think, no, I think I understand where
Kathy
you're
answered
headed, and maybe Kathy can answer that too. Perhaps we could summarize, get a summary
Yeah, just-
report.
It doesn't have to be detailed.
Yeah.
I would, yeah, I just like, how did they feel? Like, what was their take on it?
Mhm.
I would think it would be interesting for them to see the outcome. What it does is it says, this is what you would be great at.
Are we sending?
You
them
know, be a
kids?
teacher, be a doctor, be a mom, there's like such a variety of different things that your
Yeah.
strengths and weaknesses, and yeah, that would be neat to see if they get the
We
same.
might even have students willing to report back.
Right,
And
they
say,
might have.
hey, you
I think
know,
that's more.
I really
yeah.
thought, like Kathy
Right.
said, I wanted to be a dentist, but no, I don't want to be a
Right.
dentist. I
Right.
can't stand the thought of looking down somebody's
Well,
throat,
right.
right?
And that might be helpful to Brooker too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kathy, did you have something?
Yeah, I don't, I'm just wondering where the 6 at a time came. Is that because 6 will fit in a limo? Is that because I wasn't under the impression that there was, I know at one point I thought Kathy had mentioned sending 12 kids. So maybe that was 6 to New York and 6 to
Yes.
Boston.
You know, Kath, we met early in this process, so they may have refined it as time went on. And I think because this is the first trip, I think that's why it took a little bit of time going back and forth, getting clarification so that we could send students. So this time it's small, but if it's up to 30, you probably have more updated information than I do since that meeting.
No,
So.
this meeting was on January 26th.
Right, so that was after we had already met. We met in the beginning, so I think she was just trying to get it on the docket, and I talked to Barb Beebe really right after that. And so I know Barb was reaching out to Kathy as well to kind of get this formulated, but it is the first time, so I think we're kind of working out the kinks. So originally it was exactly what you're saying, the 6 and 6, 6 to Boston, 6 to New York, and then they would go from there.
Right. Okay.
It's getting clearer. It's only the first time. We hope this will be
Wonderful.
recurring, which would be.
It's a
yeah.
wonderful opportunity. The 2 kids who went last year were sponsored just by Brooker. And the feedback they gave was very positive and how it helped them to see themselves in a very different light from what they had expected when they walked into the interviews. So
Yeah,
One last thing, when we say year, are we saying school year or calendar year?
school year.
School year, okay. So they really have 3 months to try it.
Yeah, and we can
Yes.
reapply,
April, May.
we can bring it back to the board for the next calendar, the next school year, for sure.
All right.
So I'd like to entertain a motion. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Questions. So what we are going to do is authorize these trips for up to a certain number of kids and only in this school year, right?
Correct.
Okay, and they're taking a day out of school. right?
Correct,
Mhm.
yeah.
Which they don't have to, because presumably they could go on some day that we had off. But these operations were going,
No.
Such as,
It's
Well,
organized.
such as one of our President's Day holidays, for instance, they don't get off.
well, they might.
Or our
Right.
professional
Some
development
companies.
days, or our school vacation days, or whatever. In other words, this doesn't have to be on school time, right?
It doesn't, but they are going with a guidance counselor and they are going with staff from Brooker Memorial.
Okay,
And
so it's costing us a guidance counselor's day too.
yes, it will be.
Okay. So they can't go on their own time because it would be less convenient, is that what I'm hearing?
No, I think they just thought it would be during school days as other field trips are.
Okay, so these kids can stand to take a day off from school, which other kids do for other reasons too. That's not really a problem, but if there's an alternative, it would be nice to think of it. And the understanding is that they realize that we're busy too, and that they will get to us ahead of time, because these last minute meetings, as you know,
Oh,
drive
sure.
me nuts. And your failure to plan doesn't necessarily mean I am going to react. We're here tonight anyway. But we're not always here tonight anyway.
Sure.
So they need to understand it. I won't know the next time if they bring it up on an emergency basis. I won't have any problem with doing that. Anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to allow up to 30 students to attend the Brooker Memorial Johnson O'Connor Research Foundation trip this school year.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Unanimous motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Ed and John,
We are adjourned.
5:59. Me and Jeff.
At 6:03, 6:03 PM. Roll call.
Here.
Who's on your, yeah, you do. Who's others on your committee?
Whoever's on your
You
committee.
notes are committee members and then.
Committee members.
Gary's absent.
Here's-
I'm not.
Gary's absent.
I'm here.
It's me.
Jeff,
I'm here.
Jeff,
Jesse.
Jeff, Sandy.
no, Jeff isn't on it.
All right.
Who's on your? Okay.
Jeff, Gary, Glenn,
Very good. Okay.
Ed,
Ed.
and Sandy.
Okay.
All the guys.
Make a motion for approval of the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yep, sorry.
Yes. Good motion.
Yeah. So,
It's not the vote. You gotta
There's a
make
motion for approval of the minutes.
second.
it's just that.
All in
Yeah,
favor?
that's, yeah, mine is too much stuff. Yeah.
All right, public participation. Do we have anybody on the public line?
We do not.
We do not. We just skip that part.
You want me to move a chair around? We are presenters. What is someone presenting? Someone. Oh, they're gonna sit here.
They're gonna sit here.
Okay. Where are they listening?
I'll sit over here.
At this moment.
What's the?
I'll trade it.
Actually, didn't bring it up.
Rachel.
Small number.
No, I think that'll be okay because you can give it.
Are you settled in?
Yes.
Oh,
That's a lot of, it's all good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, I didn't know where that was coming from. So many people in here.
It's not over.
Item number 6, tech update.
Okay, so updates for this meeting are that we are going to be launching Parent Square in the district. Parent Square is a messaging tool where you can send out messages to parents via email, text, or through the app notification. Parents can choose to receive the information as it comes out, or they can get like a daily digest once a day to, you know, get all their information, say like when they get out of work at 6 p.m., something like that. We're able to communicate in over 30 different languages based on the parent's preference. So, you know, we can write out a message in English and then it will be translated and delivered to the parent in the language that they prefer, whatever they set their preference to. They can also comment on school postings and engage in the school community. They can also send direct messages to teachers, staff, and other parents through this app. I have to say, as a parent, my son uses this at his school, and it's been really nice to be able to communicate with his teacher, you know, about assignments, or even the other week he lost his coat. So I messaged the teacher. I said, hey, can you help him? She sent him to the lost and found. He got his coat back. So just really nice to be able, really nice to be able to just have that one-on-one communication with the teacher. They can participate in group messages between teachers and parents as well. So, you know, when they have multiple teachers or, you know, maybe a team of teachers working with their child, you can communicate with them all at once. There's also a section in the app where parents can sign up for teacher conferences at that time of year. So when that time of year rolls out during conferences, you know, we can send out messages where they can choose a time slot for their conference time, and they can also communicate with the teacher about that. And then they can also give payments, sign forms and permission slips, receive report cards, and also sign up to volunteer for different activities. There's a calendar in there, so we can put all of our calendar events as well. So the, you know, parents can go in and look at the calendar and see what's happening in their child's school or throughout the district. I know that was a lot. Any questions?
Can you send photos through it?
Yes,
As a teacher, can you send photos?
yes, I've been able to do that with my son's teacher.
So, I mean, the answer is probably yes, but I assume this would come with sort of a full suite of like safety and control features so that if there, you know, people are sort of hurling abuse at each other, that can be managed, things like that.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah,
And will there be training for the staff of what would be acceptable and not acceptable to use this for?
Yes, so admin have received training already. So far Southwest staff have received training. And then we have it scheduled out for the rest of the staff for at each building to get training
This school.
this school year. Yes.
So with the parent hat on, I was invited to enroll weeks ago. So if you mentioned you are rolling it out, but that seems to have already started. The principals are saying, hey, we're going to stop sending notifications the other way. We're only going to do it this way. What does the timeline look like for that?
So it's my understanding that we are going to continue sending out notifications both ways till the end of the school year, so that
Okay.
we can make sure that, enrollment in Parents Square it is up and that, we're reaching all of our parents. So if parents are still only getting communicated, with school messenger, like we send it out right now, until the end of the year, we'll still be using that process so that, we can make sure we're reaching everybody until we get all the enrollments in Parent Square.
So the admin team is using it now because I'm getting notifications,
Mhm.
but the
Some of them are.
teachers, the teacher level staff have not been enrolled in this yet.
Correct, because training hasn't been completed
Okay.
for staff. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Vogel's kind of been our pilot, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why you're
Vogel's
I see it in
very
middle
experienced
school,
first.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fiona,
What is the cost of this?
I do not know, but I can definitely find out.
I have that. If you need it. I do it because I saw it last night.
For next year?
Yeah.
I just haven't heard of
Capital, or, not
Kind of the
capital.
technology services.
Yeah, I would say 15.
Yes.
so is it,
But that's for next year. What about this year?
I don't have it offhand, but I can definitely get it for you.
do we know if it's like licensed per device? Is it a package?
I'm not sure.
No idea.
I can get that information.
It also,
for you,
it
though.
also seems like there's some overlap with stuff that we currently have, such as Power School. Our calendar, I don't know if it's gonna sync with our calendar on our website.
Yes, it
And
definitely.
notifications, I mean.
Well, the hope is to use this in place of school messenger. But until, we want to do a smooth transition, so we're not leaving everybody out. Want to make sure that the parents are enrolled and everybody's getting the messages that we need to get sent home.
So really, when it comes to Power School, that's something we also license, correct?
So school messenger is a feature of Power School.
Right.
Oh, it is,
Yeah.
they're together.
Yes, it's the messaging
So
function.
it's an add-on license to Power School,
Right.
what it is, okay. Fair enough. That's all I got. Any other questions? Anyone? Bill, you have anything? No, I'm not. Thank you. Social media update.
Okay. One second.
Yes. Here it is.
All right. So I condensed it a little bit. I know last time was a little overwhelming. I do appreciate all the data that was sent to me. So this is for our district website. This time we added in the district page as well, and also the district Instagram page. So it looks like engagement is a little down on our district Facebook page, but is on an upward trend for Instagram. And I think that was Jeff had the question about how they count the engagement, whether they counted repeats.
Yes, one person could make
Right.
27 comments and show up in your report as 27.
So I did look into that, and Facebook says, or Meta says that they count the engagement per account. So to weed out repeats, they do it per account that is visiting the page.
Thank you.
Next is the high school, and looks like engagement is up, so it's doing really well. Over 55.4% Facebook page visits, which is awesome. A couple new likes, and we're reaching quite a bit of people. Torrington Middle School Facebook page, looks like the engagement is down a bit. Hopefully that we can put some posts out and get that engagement back up. I did hear that on the Torrington High School, Middle School Instagram project page for the new building, we do have over 100 new followers though. So we are getting engagement in that department. Torringford is up as well. Looks like we have some more likes and follows. We're reaching, almost 900 people. Vogel Wetmore as well. So it looks like whatever we are posting is getting some really good engagement, lots of likes, so up 500% on their likes this month. So doing really, really well. Southwest trend is down a little bit, but we are getting some likes. That's up 200%. So whatever they are posting, the people are liking. And last but not least, Forbes, who has their engagement up this month as well, which is great. 600% increase on the new likes. And we're getting, 1,600 people for where we're reaching with our Facebook page. Is there any questions?
My question would be, when will this be available to us? It wasn't in the packet, and we kind of like to get things in the packet. Will this be sent out to us?
I can absolutely send it out to you. Yeah.
That's supposed to be sent out. Thank you.
Anybody else have questions? I have two.
Sure.
Real quick with the Facebook page and the new construction, I know there was mentions in the past about utilizing one of the cameras that used to look in the parking lot to get like a live feed of the building progress. Did that fall by the wayside or
No, that
not
is,
possible?
that is still up. Let me see if I can pull that up for you.
No, it's just, if it's up, it's great. It's just a
The
question.
website
Yeah.
is January.
Yep.
It's not current.
No, it's
building committee has
it
the
should be a
live
live feed.
Yeah, the like.
Okay, well, what's on our own site is old.
So
Throw
right
a link To the
here
building committee off of our website.
is the Torrington live stream of the construction, and this is on all day, all night.
Right.
You
You throw a link to that.
Where is it on
Facebook
our
page, maybe
website? Yeah.
grab some more traffic.
Yeah, I didn't know that was there. I would imagine a lot of the public doesn't know either.
So maybe we need to make it more present on our website. That way people know where to find it.
Pin the post, pin it
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
top, so you see it every time you go to our page or something.
absolutely. Yeah, we can do that.
Notifications out to the social media platforms.
Yeah, we can have them
Gain
share it
traction.
on high school and middle
Yep.
school Facebook. Yeah.
The other question we talked about last meeting about the new smart board mounts. We're
Mhm.
gonna get 16 of them. Did they start going in yet? Are they?
They did not yet. We're
Okay.
waiting to schedule. They're just
Okay.
swamped.
And the other thing we talked about were about the licensing for Apple Professional. For the Apple Classroom licenses to replace Securely. And you were gonna check on the licensing?
For securely possibly, because Apple Classroom comes with, it's a built-in feature of the MacBooks.
Correct.
I did find out, I did look into that. The teachers are still currently using Securely because Securely allows you to lock down Chrome itself, which is the browser that we use, rather than Apple Classroom just lets you get a broader view of what is being done on the device, but you can't necessarily lock down and make it specifically, I'm trying to say, so Securely can, you can set like a set list of websites that the students are allowed to go to while they're in your classroom and things of that sort. So it gets more granular, where the teachers can control what websites that the students are visiting. Where Apple Classroom kind of just gives you a view of what they're doing.
Okay.
So they are utilizing both currently. But I can still get you details about the licensing for that.
Well,
which I-
we were just, it kind of came to the, under the impression that the Apple Classroom is gonna do stuff similar to Securely, and if Apple Classroom comes with our devices and we're buying Securely licensed edition.
Yeah,
Just so they
correct.
can replace.
it does do similar things, but it, like
Not
I
all.
said, Securely gets more granular.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Any other questions, anyone? We'll move to facilities. Which John turns off his ding ding.
Yeah, he's gonna do that.
John, John's here, right? Before your
Right.
update.
Wait, where
No,
are we?
no,
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Executive.
That was last time. All right, I can make a motion to go into executive session on mutual link. Inviting in Superintendent Sue, Chief Baldwin. Mr. Mutual Link.
Other board members.
John Barlow and
Board members.
Scott.
Yeah.
No, but the fee, the construction fee, it's stuck, it comes up January, that's what I was checking, comes up January 2023. On our page. But-
Yeah, Rachel could just check it and we'll have our person make sure that we have all those things.
So moved.
On favor?
At 6:20.